Around 10,000 BC, during the Neolithic Revolution, humans in Mesopotamia transitioned from a nomadic lifestyle of hunting and gathering to settled agriculture. The region's fertile soil, enriched by the annual flooding of the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, made it an ideal place for early farming. Small farming villages began to emerge, and with them came the first steps toward civilization. By 5000 BC, these villages had grown into larger communities. The Sumerians, a people of unknown origin, established some of the earliest cities in southern Mesopotamia. Cities like Uruk, Eridu, and Ur began to flourish around 3500 BCE, marking the beginning of the Sumerian civilization. These cities were not just agricultural hubs. They became centers of trade, religion, and governance. Uruk, often regarded as one of the world's first true city, next to Eridu and Ur, with a population that may have exceeded 50,000 people. Uruk was a bustling metropolis dominated by lines of mud houses and a religious architecture such as ziggurat and white temple. In Uruk, the ziggurat and white temple considered as a sacred place. It was believed to be the meeting place of Anu, the sky god of Uruk, which was also believed as the ruler and the all-father of gods. Not only well known as one of the first city, this city was also the birthplace of writing. Around 3400 BC, the Sumerians developed cuneiform, a system of writing that involved pressing wedge-shaped symbols into clay tablets. Initially used for keeping records of trade and taxes, cuneiform soon evolved to record laws, myths, and epic tales, including the famous Epic of Gilgamesh, one of the earliest known works of literature. Around 2334 BC, the Sumerian city-states were united for the first time under a single ruler, Sargon of Akkad. Sargon established the Akkadian Empire, which is often considered the world's first empire. Under his rule, the Akkadians expanded their territory, bringing much of Mesopotamia under their control. Sargon's conquests spread the Akkadian language and culture throughout the region, and for the first time, Mesopotamia experienced a unified political system. However, the Akkadian Empire was not to last. After several generations of rule, it fell to internal strife and external invasions around 2154 BC. The collapse of the Akkadian Empire led to a period of chaos, but it was followed by the rise of a new power, Babylon. Babylon, under the rule of King Hammurabi around 1792 BC, became the dominant force in Mesopotamia. Hammurabi is best known for his code of laws, the Code of Hammurabi, one of the earliest and most comprehensive written legal codes. The code covered everything from criminal law, civil law, family law, economic provisions, contracts, and military service. One of its famous phrases, an eye for an eye, was an early example of the law of retribution or lex talionis, which means one should punish the one who commits injury with the same way how that injury occurs, which was harsh but necessary to prevent the strong from oppressing the weak. From then, Hammurabi's rule brought stability and prosperity to Babylon. Even after his death, the code's tablet is kept, and a few of its aspect has been adapted into the next Babylon Empire's rule and furthermore. As Babylonian power waned, another great empire rose in northern Mesopotamia, the Assyrian Empire. The Assyrians, known for their military prowess and administrative efficiency, began to expand their territory around 1300 BC. By the 9th century BC, the Assyrians had created one of the largest empires the world had ever seen, stretching from the Persian Gulf to the Mediterranean Sea. The Assyrian kings, such as Tiglath-Pileser III and Ashurbanipal, were ruthless conquerors who used fear and intimidation to maintain control over their vast empire. The Assyrians were also great builders, constructing magnificent cities like Nineveh and Ashur, which were adorned with grand palaces, temples, and libraries. The library of Ashurbanipal, in particular, was a treasure trove of knowledge, containing thousands of clay tablets that preserved the literature and learning of Mesopotamia. Despite their power, the Assyrians were eventually brought down by a coalition of their enemies, including the Babylonians and Medes. In 612 BC, Nineveh, the capital of the Assyrian Empire, was sacked, marking the end of Assyrian dominance in Mesopotamia. With the fall of Assyria, Babylon once again rose to prominence under the leadership of King Nebuchadnezzar II. The Neo-Babylonian Empire, which lasted from 626 BC to 539 BC, was a period of cultural revival and architectural grandeur. Nebuchadnezzar is best known for his ambitious building projects, including the reconstruction of Babylon with its famous Hanging Gardens, one of the seven wonders of the ancient world. Babylon became a center of learning and culture during this time, but its prosperity was short-lived. In 539 BC, the Persian king Cyrus the Great conquered Babylon, bringing Mesopotamia under Persian control. This marked the beginning of a new era in the region's history, as Mesopotamia became a part of the vast Achaemenid Empire. The Persian rule brought relative peace and stability to Mesopotamia, but it also marked the end of its independence as a distinct cultural and political entity. Over the centuries, Mesopotamia would come under the control of various empires, including the Greeks under Alexander the Great, the Parthians, and eventually the Romans. As the time goes on, the political power of Mesopotamia was faded. But, fortunately, its cultural and technological contributions continued to influence the world for millennia. Like the alphabet in your book, wheel for our vehicles, the calendar in your house, as well as advancements in mathematics, astrology, and law. And it all started when Sumerians decided to build houses between two rivers. Unknown to them, their decisions to stay 12,000 years ago would become the reason why our civilization's still growing and developing till this day.